Before we do, we got to talk a little bit channel business. You may have noticed that some of the features on the program are no longer available. That's because we got demonetized by YouTube today. Got an email in my inbox that, I was really hoping to not get this email, but we got it. This is what it looked like when I was looking at my Gmail today. It says, your channel is no longer eligible to monetize. Learn how to reapply. And, I was hoping that this wouldn't happen. I'm very glad that this wasn't a cancellation notice, but they did demonetize us. And so I want to walk you through that. I know that this is probably not that interesting for the news people, but I think this is very pertinent to what we're talking about. We've spent a lot of time here talking about the cancellation of certain individuals off platforms, a big push about free speech. It's something that I'm extremely passionate about. And this is not us being deplatformed. We're still here. We're still broadcasting live. Thank you, YouTube, for that. And, I think, however, this is something that is relevant to all of us, because essentially what this is doing is I'm not going to go hungry because our channel was demonetized. Miss Faith is still going to have a job here. Everything's going to be fine. But we had some pretty big plans for the channel. We were going to use a lot of the revenue and the goodwill that we were generating from all of you, the people who've been supporting the show, and that was being provided by the content that we delivered over to YouTube that they were making money off of. We wanted to use that to grow the show and expand the message and to sort of, bring what we talk about here, the values of transparency and accountability and more involvement, active involvement in our government. We wanted to, incorporate more people into the program and grow the show and just kind of do more good, be useful to a bigger audience. And so that is all sort of derailed a little bit for the foreseeable future. So I want to run you through what this looks like. I was trying my best to play within the rules. I've gotten criticized on this program before for bowing down to taking a knee to YouTube. And we were trying to comply by the rules. We were trying to be of value, of service to people, and YouTube just wasn't happy with it. And it's their playground, so they're allowed to do that. But I want to run you through what this looks like. And we got an email. This is what it said. It said, "Hey, Robert Gruler, ESQ, during a recent review, our team of policy specialists ran through your channel. They looked over the videos you've uploaded. We found that a significant portion of your channel is not in line with our partner program policies. As of today, your channel is not eligible to monetize. You will not have access to the monetization tools and features." And so what that means is no super chats. You can't do that. You can't, we're not making any money off the ad revenue or, anything that you guys have typically been sending to us. We're not allowed to do that anymore. Please go to your monetization page to read more about what specific policy that was flagged by their specialists. I'm going to show you specifically because, like I said, we're always trying to play within the rules, but we just really don't know what we did wrong. But anyways, let's go through it. They say, "We know this is tough news. Sometimes we have difficult decisions to make. We have a responsibility to ensure our community is safe for viewers and advertisers. At the same time, we understand that you may have unintentionally made mistakes." Yeah, we didn't intend to violate your policies there, YouTube. "That's why you'll be able to reapply in 30 days, which we will do. And I want to talk a little bit about that just so you as outstanding people who've been supporting us all this time, I want to make sure you understand what we're doing with this program. And I want to make sure that you're not, sort of left out in the cold. This is a 30-day time period that allows you to make changes to your channel to make sure it's in line with our policies. And that's what I want to talk about. So it says what this means. You will still have access to most creator features on YouTube. So we can still upload, edit, delete your videos, which I think they want us to delete some of them. And they said, read, respond, moderate your comments, analyze your performance, get the best practices over at the Creator Academy, connect to other creators in the help forum. There's no change to how your videos are promoted in our search or recommendation systems, which I think is fine because they've already basically put us in the penalty box for a long time. We were already in there, not being promoted or recommended, and that's okay. But now, they also sort of remove the ads and the monetization features. So no super chats and, none of that other kind of fun stuff. They are telling us that we can monetize again. And so they're going to re-review our policies. The next step they're saying is to edit or delete any videos that violate our policies. And I really just don't know what those are. In the next 30 days, you'll see an option to reapply for monetization. We'll email you an update as soon as the process is complete. So we'll try back again in 30 days. It's going to be March 5th, I believe, is our final date. Yeah, March 5th. And so we're going to try to see if we can get that back. I know the super chats were fun. We kind of enjoyed that, but we're not going to be doing the super chats today. We don't have super chats. There's no way to do super chats. So what we're going to do instead is, if you are a regular of the program, you know we've been promoting our platform over on Locals. It's watchingthewatchers.locals.com. You can go over there, and there should be a show thread that Miss Faith has posted. And so for the show, as we're broadcasting live, obviously Locals does not have live streaming yet. My understanding is it's coming out in the future, but we are going to just do the content here. Okay, so for those of you who do not want to join over on Locals, no problem at all. We're going to still continue to do the live show every day as usual. Some of the content might change a little bit. I'm going to show you why here in a minute, because they're saying that our content previously has been harmful content, and we don't want to put harmful content on YouTube. So we're going to have to modify what that is. I'm trying to still figure out what was so harmful. I thought it was all pretty much just analytical, looking at lawsuits filed and formal government documents, but apparently that could have been harmful. So we're going to dissect what that is. But the point here is, over on Locals, we have, I think, a little bit more freedom to post stuff and a little bit more freedom to answer and ask some questions. I think maybe some of the questions may have been, they're not happy with. I don't know. We don't know what it is. So we're going to try to figure it out. We're going to, continue to do the show. Still going to be live. Still want you to be here. Still want you to, enjoy the program. I'm not real sure what the show is going, what we're going to be able to talk about. I don't know if the harmful content was election stuff, litigation stuff. We just did a video on the 9-year-old girl who got pepper sprayed. I don't know if that is problematic. We're trying to sort that out, but I just want you as the audience to understand that this is what's going on. So if you notice some change in the program, this is why. We're trying to play by their rules, and locals.com gives us the ability to post other content there. So if there is controversial stuff that is going to be harmful content according to YouTube standards that I don't think is harmful, we're not going to put it on YouTube. We're going to put it over on Locals. And so at the end of this program, if you do have questions, those will be, so throw those questions in the show thread, and then after this show is over, we're going to get off here. We're not going to do a live chat. I'm going to record and respond to those questions. I'm going to do a Q&A, and then we're going to post that over on Locals. It's going to be for subscribers only. So if you're not a subscriber, if you want to see that, some people don't even care about the Q&A. They just want some of the content. But if you do, it's going to be over on Locals, and that's going to be for the foreseeable future until we get remonetized again. Then we can get back to the super chats, and it can all be one straightforward segment. So I hope you understand. We're trying to had a long talk with Miss Faith today, trying to sort through how to navigate this stuff. We're not the first people who've been demonetized. Okay, I think anybody in this political commentary field is also going through this. I know the Epoch Times just got demonetized. I got several emails from them. They're trying to figure out what to do. I'm not sure what's happening with some of these other people. I don't know if Crowder's demonetized or Shapiro or any of these other individuals. Not that we're that show or in that category, but I just know that they have gone through some of the same trouble. So we're all trying to sort it out, and I appreciate your patience. I'm sorry that we have to even discuss some of this business, but I just wanted to be transparent with you and let you know what's going on. And so this is the other thing that we see when we go back into our back end on YouTube. They say your channel is no longer eligible to monetize. Why? Here's our feedback. Our reviewers found that your channel contains the following: harmful content. And then it says content that focuses on controversial issues and that is harmful to viewers. That's it. That's all we get. All right. I click the learn more button, and I'm going to show you what that is. It says we can remonetize back on March 5th. We're at 98,900 subscribers. We've been there for a month and a half because they're not showing our channel to anybody else. And so we're just kind of been stagnant there, but no problem at all. So it says harmful content. All right. What the hell are they talking about? Well, so if you click that learn more link, this is what we get. And here are all of the main topics that are not advertiser friendly. So I went through most of these. I think some of these we don't even touch on. Adult themes and family content, not really. Tobacco content, no. I try not to be incendiary or demeaning. I try not to use inappropriate language. Sometimes it shows up in the body cams. It's not shocking content. Okay, there's no genitals on this program, and it just goes kind of on and on and on. Now, what they're upset about here was the controversial issues that causes harmful content, controversial issues and harmful content. All right. So what does that mean? Well, these controversial issues, and this is important. I think you're going to see a lot less of this on YouTube. If you are somebody who gets a lot of your news, you come to YouTube because you want to see controversial issues. You want to see what people are saying and talking about these. I don't know how you talk about politics and not talk about controversial issues. So, this may be something that for other creators, other channels you follow, that they may just be also narrowing the scope of what they can talk about to operate within the confines of the YouTube parameters. And so this is what controversial issues looks like. When you click that button, click that link, this is where it takes you to. It says this type of stuff is okay. Fleeting or dramatized. Okay, let's go back up. Controversial issues refer to topics that may be unsettling for our users and are often the result of human tragedy. This policy applies even if the content is purely commentary or contains no graphic imagery. So and my original thought was, all right, well, maybe this is some of the body cam stuff that we talk about. Maybe it is a 9-year-old girl who got pepper sprayed. We spent a lot of time talking about George Floyd, a ton of time talking about Daniel Prude, Rayshard Brooks, Breonna Taylor. All of those different situations are controversial. I think that they're unsettling. I mean, when I cover them, I'm unsettled seeing a 9-year-old girl pepper sprayed in the face. Is that what they're talking about? Or is this the other stuff? Is this the election litigation stuff? Is this the Capitol Hill stuff, which is also unsettling, right? And we talked about that there. So it's a really broad definition, and we just don't know what that means. They give us a little bit of guidance. They say if it is fleeting or dramatized around controversial topics like suicide, sexual abuse, or child abuse or domestic abuse, then you can turn ads on for that. So a fleeting reference would be would be like one of these things: fleeting references that are not the focus of the content. They include passing references to topics listed as controversial or sensitive. For example, briefly acknowledging a controversial or sensitive topic. In next week's video, we'll be discussing declining rates of suicide that wouldn't be considered focal, but rather fleeting. All right, declining rates of suicide. Okay, so that is something that would be okay. This is the stuff that is not okay. You should turn off ads for this content. They're saying child abuse. If you focus on controversial issues such as child abuse, pedophilia, so child abuse maybe, right? Because we were talking about that specifically. The cops were abusing the hell out of that child. Child marriage, never come up once on the show. Sexual abuse, sexual harassment, I think we've probably touched on. Self-harm, I talk a lot about suicide, but in the context of saying that my family suffered from a suicide. My younger brother passed away when he was 27 years old, and so that was something we talk about, but I don't know that that's controversial. Eating disorders, no. Domestic abuse, we do talk about because we're a criminal law channel. We just talked about abortion briefly because there was a legal bill in the Arizona House of Representatives that wanted to criminalize abortion. And, that's it. I mean, I think we're kind of in the wheelhouse on some of those things. So, I don't know that anything there was out of bounds that we discussed, but here's what it says. It says it also means that there is a sustained discussion. A passing reference to one of the topics listed as controversial is not a reason for no ads. Briefly acknowledging something like the declining rates of suicide is not focal, but a segment of the video specifically talking about such a topic would be considered focal. So focus needs to be, it doesn't even need to be verbal. If there's an image or a text that focuses on the sensitive issue, that would be considered focus too. So that's about all the guidance that we have, and I don't really know how to operate with that. I would have liked them to say this video was bad because of that, this one was bad because of this, and so on. Would have given us a little bit more understanding of what the problems were, and then we could operate within the confines of the rule. But, it is what it is. I've always said this. It's YouTube's playground. My initial instinct was to be just very angry about this, like, what the, and I just decided to pause for a little bit. Remember gratitude. I'm still grateful that YouTube has been very good to us over, for our firm. We've got a lot of new business. We've helped a lot of people, provided a lot of value, I think, and we've gotten a lot of good feedback for it. So I'm very grateful that they did not cancel us. I'm grateful for the ability now to look at different platforms and see maybe where else we can deliver value in different venues and different mechanisms. I ultimately don't think it's good for the viewer. I don't think it's good for you, which is ultimately YouTube's customer base. I'm a YouTube customer. I buy YouTube Premium, whatever that is. I like to support other channels and other shows, but it's one of those things where I think that if the people that I regularly follow have to also limit their speech and stop talking about some issues that might be controversial, then that doesn't serve me. It's not good for me. It's not good for you. It's not particularly good for YouTube, but I can understand it from their perspective as well. They're a business, and they were making money off of our videos that we were producing for them. They take 30% of everything. And so you start to think, well, why would they do that? And we were trying to, Faith and I were talking about this, trying to just, determine why. Is it just a political issue? Are they just unhappy? In other words, watching the watchers was okay. Speaking truth to power was okay during the last administration, but now watching the watchers, the Biden DOJ, the Biden CDC, the Biden, prosecutors, U.S. attorneys. Now maybe that's not so okay. Okay, it was okay 4 years ago, or let's say 4 months ago, but not so much now. Could be that, I don't know. Or this could just be a simple business decision for them. I can understand if you're an advertiser and you want to advertise your products, you may not want it appearing on certain channels where they're talking about these dangerous, harmful, controversial issues. And if that's the case, I disagree with it, but I can understand it. I'm not real sure how much scrutiny our channel got. I think that if you watch it, sometimes the headlines and the thumbnails can be a little bit provocative, but I think the content is pretty vanilla. And so we're still trying to sort it out. I appreciate your patience. Thanks for indulging me and letting me talk about this a little bit. But the nuts and bolts of this thing is we're going to keep doing the show. It's just going to change and modify a little bit. It's going to be probably a shorter show because some of the live chat is going to be taking place after the fact in a recorded video that's going to be over on Locals. But aside from that, I want to thank everybody for your support. I mean, I love the hell out of all of you. You've been very grateful. I'm very grateful for you. You've been very gracious to us as this show is maturing, and we have had a lot of sort of ups and downs and bumps, and it's been tumultuous at times. You've seen the show go a little bit neutral, a little bit liberal on some of the criminal justice issues. You've seen me go pretty conservative on some of the free speech issues, and it's sort of been a bit of a whirlwind along with the rest of the country and the rest of the world, quite frankly, for about the last 4 or 5 months since we started going live every day. And it's still going to continue to evolve and mature. We're still going to learn and feel this stuff out. As I'm not a YouTuber. I am slowly kind of becoming more skilled at that, but my day job is a lawyer, and we run a criminal defense law firm, and that's where most of my focus is every single day. But it is something I'm getting, the training wheels are still on the YouTube live stream stuff. We're doing our best with it, and I appreciate you understanding that and just, working with us as we work through it. So enough of that. It's been a long introduction, but I wanted to just give you a little bit of a channel update. So thanks for indulging me on that. All right, so let's get into it.